G'day everyone, welcome back to the next set of AllianceWar video or hit, whatever, here in PuzzleCombat. Today we've got the Pirate Horde matched up with Elite Strike Force, which is where I just came from as my previous alliance. So yeah, it's pretty much, that's what's happening. 28 v 28, red tanks versus red tanks. ESF I would say are probably a little bit higher ranked than TPH on the war leaderboard, I guess, if there was such a thing. So I think the expected result from this is for ESF to win, not necessarily hugely comfortably, but still to win without too much trouble. So first off, I have selected juxtaposed Camel as my first target. So it's all pulses at this point in the war. All of the non-pulse tanks are dead at the moment, and it's just, I think there's 9 pulse teams left. So yeah, we get to take out a couple of them, or try to anyway. Team I've built, I've gone with a 3-1-1 setup of 3 blues with Fiddle as off-color charge control and also Amethyst as some extra damage. On color charge control, I've brought along my only blue charge controller at the moment, which is Face Off. And then I brought along, well, I tried to bring along War Chest for some AoE damage, but he has unfortunately died, as has Face Off, and then yeah, obviously Doodle is there on the right wing for some healing. So hopefully you've been tracking the battle as it's progressed, as I've been waffling a little bit, but we've got it down to just the 2 heroes on the right side of Camel's defense. So we've got Fungi Beats and Sidestep left. Sidestep is a really quality hero, very tough defensively, particularly when she's got the dodge gun and her family dodge bonus going as well. Quite difficult to hit. And then she's also got the evade talent, which adds an extra layer of, I guess, dodging on top of all of that. So all in all, quite difficult to kill when RNG is not in your favor. So you've seen I've probably shot a bunch of tiles and a bunch of special skills at her. She either dodged or evaded all of them to date. Finally landed an insanity from Fiddle there on her. So we can now close this one out without too much fear of reprisal from this point. So yeah, just sort of making tile matches away from Fiddle at the moment, just to, I guess, be safe. So we'll fire off Amethyst, get some random blue tiles, get the healing going, use the green tiles in the ghosted position, fire off Fiddle, and hopefully get the kill shot with Fiddle, if not from the follow-up attack from Fiddle afterwards. So yeah, a lot longer. Like, it took genuinely quite a while to go from 1 hero remaining to no heroes remaining, because yeah, Sidestep kind of just hangs in there. Next up, Khal with another pulse defense. We also saw that there was a Sapphire on the left flank. So Sapphire can be dangerous if she's allowed to live, particularly with other AoE hitters, like you've got Whack and also Mayor Vinaya, also quite dangerous when that attack buff starts going. The Berserk buff, I would say, is most potent on defense teams, and the reason for that is that every single tile that hits them, whether it's got damage attached to it or if it's just an off-color tile, they all tick that attack bonus up by +1. So every tile you land on those enemy heroes is equal to a +17% attack bonus. So it's really quick and easy to ratchet Sapphire's damage up. You can see I've been a little bit unfortunate. Enemy Pulse did manage to charge and fire a special skill before I was able to get the kill. It's put me in a little bit of a difficult position because obviously we've now got quite a hefty attack buff on the right hand side there. So was a little bit fortunate. We have the charge control from Syntax out, and then some pseudo and actual healing from Pulse and Pearl as minions respectively. So yeah, that's sort of the position at the moment. 4v5, although my health is a little bit reduced, so I'll double tap my AoE 5 hitters. So I've got Clara for her attack bonus, as well as some charge slowing, so charge control in that form, and then obviously War Chest for the big AoE damage afterwards. So that was sort of my attempt at bringing this fight back. board has kind of dried up a little bit. It's got a fair bit in there, but it's not really my two colors that I brought along. I did opt to go with a 3-2 split this time to try to take a little bit of advantage of the double green that Khal has got on this defense team, but unfortunately not been able to really capitalize on it so far. So I'm now down to a 2v4, 2v2 now, so possibly doable with some good tile luck, but in order to really get it to go through, we do need a lot of blue tiles to land primarily in the off color section. So on this the ghosted section on the right hand side. If I can get a lot of tiles to be able to go through there, I can really chain special skills through and build up a little bit of a health buffer. Unfortunately, not to be the case. I did not really get enough tiles, and yeah, Clara died in I think 2 shots, and then Perla was only 1 or 2 shots afterwards. So yeah, a little bit disappointing. I think it was a winnable fight. I just got a bit unlucky early on. It took a while for me to actually get any of my tiles going. So Pulse had fired. Literally every other hero I think was 2 turns behind Pulse by the time she fired. So, all right. Destroy and Factory is next up. So another Pulse tank. This one's got Flak in right flank, Foley in right wing, and then we've obviously got Whack and Doodle on the left side. So double healer. Decided to go a little bit more powerful this time after the schmozzle that was last time around. So we've gone with, who's in there? We've got Emerald for charge control, Zodiac for charge control. I've got Lepus for damage as well as delayed damage. Unfortunately did get his effects returned to me courtesy of Whack's family bonus there, which is unfortunate. And then we've obviously also got Ghost for defense down and damage, as well as pseudo heal in the armor, and then definitely Nox as an out and out healer. So Nox actually works quite nicely as a healer. She's not an immediate heal, she's got a heal over time, but her heal over time is actually a very potent form, shall we say. She's actually got quite a high heal per tick compared to a lot of other heal over timers. So it actually works quite well as a healer in most teams. And yeah, you can see I got genuinely a really nice board the whole way through that fight and was able to play it out without issues. Rueful Fraction up next, so 3-1-1 set up this time again. A Yumi in the left flank position, so I've decided to try to take advantage of the buff generating that is in that she creates. So I've got Flak there because he can pierce through the counter attack. So ideally, I fire him before Yumi does and be able to get the shock element off as well, but if not, I can still inflict damage without having to worry about the counter attack back. Very, very unfortunate board so far. It's been really red and green favorable, and those are literally the only 2 colors I did not bring to this fight, so no real blue tiles, so to speak, as yet. I've got obviously a number of blue tiles there, but they're not in matchable positions, which is difficult to work with. I have also brought along Pantera. The idea behind him was to be able to dispel Ayumi's buff if I was unfortunate with no purples. Unfortunately, he's dead, and Pulse has now fired a second time. Ayumi's fired once, Hex has fired once as well. Enemy Whack is about to fire, and Vision won't be far behind. So yeah, I think this one I kind of got shafted early on in the fight, really. Looking back at it, I still couldn't really see any way I could have played this one differently. I had a lot of green and a lot of red tiles on the board which I needed to clear out, and I just got unlucky with not having blues come in like auto match positions. Would have been really great, but in matchable positions would have been nice as well. So yeah. Next up, we obviously have Strikelord, or as you can see, we've got Strikelord there. Pulse is there and now is gone. We've got Ghost, Sidestep, Emerald, and then Hypernova as the 4 remaining heroes. My team consists of Fungi Beats to put out an ailment blocker, or a buff blocker rather, which I've now attempted to land there on the right hand side. Did land it successfully, so that will prevent Hypernova from gaining her buffs, which is really awesome. Also got Hex in there for some AoE damage, as well as the 58% blind. That was really the main reason for bringing her along, to try to reduce the likelihood of that enemy sidestep landing her skill, and Ghost as well. Then we've got Dragon Fist and Fiddle as off-color charge control, and then Doodle as the obvious team healer there. So have landed Fiddle on sidestep, as she did dodge that, which is unfortunate, but it did eliminate sidestep's charge, so that's the main thing. What's next? Hypernova fires, which is unfortunate, but is what it is. Nice big blue cascading in there, so we'll fire off Fungi Beats and Dragon Fist on the right hand side. Really going to try to proc that Demolition Talon, which we did see happen there. We saw the Shell Shock, which dealt a lot of damage out. Come. As well as removed the buff from Hypernova. Didn't have to worry though, because she died from the next shot anyway, so worked out quite nicely, that little sequence. Doodle fires, gets me my healing back, also puts up the ailment shield, which is really good, seeing as the enemy Emerald is about to fire, so I don't actually have to worry about that charge block coming in from her now, so she can fire. You'll see it'll come up with resist on all 3 heroes, so that's really nice. Really great demonstration of that effect's power. Fiddle obviously has sidestep on lock, which is really great, and then we get the kill with the burn ailment from Dragon Fist a little early in that fight. So final flag, so we've got Micala. We'll go with Micala. Final pulse tank, run out of 5-star heroes. Like, legitimately, I don't have any more 5-star blue heroes to use, so I've dipped down into the 4 stars, and I decided to this time use Variant Bridget as a blue healer, so managed to scrape through 6 healers in blue, which is quite nice. It works out all right in the end. She is not an actual healer though, she's an armor over time, so I don't actually have any HP regenerating heroes. We've obviously got Panzer in there, who has Taunt. Taunt is insanely powerful, particularly against AoE effects. So an interesting thing actually, just while we're talking about Taunt, you'll see it later in the fight, but Hypernova's delayed damage counts as a special skill strike. I don't know why, for whatever reason, but it does, and the net benefit of this with Taunt, or the net interaction of this with Taunt, is that Taunt actually stops her ailment, or her buff rather, from dealing damage to all of my enemies. It's limited only to the taunting hero. So you'll see it in the next turn here. So Panzer takes a face shot. I just make my match. The enemy Hypernova is about to fire her delayed damage in another turn, and you'll see that as soon as it triggers, you will see that it is only dealt to Panzer. So that's a really nice little benefit. I hadn't really thought it the whole way through when I built this team. I mainly built the Taunt to control some of the other heroes there, but worked out nicely in the end as well. So 4 out of 6, not too bad. I have had better wars against pulse tanks, but you know, 4 out of 6 is still pretty good, I want to say, for pulses. So yeah, that's sort of where we ended up. We ended up in 14th, 14th spot with 259. So yeah, we did obviously lose this war. We had 6 flags unused, they had 7, so the flag usage wasn't the issue, it was just ultimately they got a better one-shot record. So anyway, hope your wars went well and your next wars go well also, and I guess I'll catch you guys all in the next video. Till then, good luck, stay safe, and happy gaming. Bye!